This is The Party with Serene
and Pearl.
Get it right, Poddy.
Take 5. Gels, welcome back to your own dang living room. It's the Trim Healthy Podcast. And as I look up,
Just start off with a cuss word.
I can't cuss.
You said the D-A-N-G. Now, back when I was raising my children,
It's not a cuss word in the South.
they were not allowed to see the D-A-M-N, nor were they allowed to say the D-A-N-G because it was close.
I remember you and your children singing Dang the Chiggers of
Yeah,
Tennessee.
if it was in a song,
That
you
was,
were allowed
song.
to, but you were not
What's
just
her
allowed
Smoochie
to say
McTwain,
it.
Dang the Chiggers.
that was smooch.
Yeah, so anyway.
You can't say
Thanks for
dang.
opening our podcast with a cuss word. Kind of
tried.
Christian cuss word, but on the verge.
You think
Hey.
you think dang is a cuss word?
I just
But guess
explained
what,
it.
Dan?
I know, but you believe it now.
No, I don't.
Last week you
Okay.
were in this suit. This week your whole vibe from the neck up. I don't know why but it's like the black and white miming videos of Yore. Oh, he's burping now. Oh my goodness, that's
what
why those
happened?
movies were silent.
You're supposed to be in a...
Because the actors.
He's in a once
Would be burping.
Dr. Peterson seat and you're burping. Okay, I'm just sorry, everybody, for this beginning. Should we start again?
No.
Do bubbles make you burp though, Pearl?
All God's children burp.
Okay.
No,
but
it's the
nobody
LaCroix.
wants to hear it.
LaCroix, is that how you say it?
Can we start?
We're done.
yeah.
We just start with... Okay, we're starting, and that was the worst intro in this whole earth. But we love you, Dan.
Yeah, but I
My
have
best
something
work.
really wise to say to... I shouldn't say that. What if it's not wise? But it is wise because it's not my words. I'm reading some scripture here today. I'm going to go heavy or go home. Like I'm going to bring the
You're
band
Bible
down.
bashing today?
I'm Bible bashing today. I'm proud of it.
Does it have anything to do with our health journey?
Well, you'll just have to find out, won't you?
I
And I
will-
really don't want you to interrupt at first unless the Lord tells you to butt in and be a jerk.
Okay, so I shall wait on the Lord and ask
The Lord
if
tells
he wants me to be a jerk and butt in. Got it.
God
Now,
told me to
I do.
interrupt you.
I want you guys.
That's my new statement to my wife.
Well, do you know what? That's as truthful as most God tells me to do this kind of statements.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
told me to tell you that you have to change your laundry detergent kind of statements.
Yeah. The next time she's like, "You're not listening," I'll be like, "God told me to interrupt you." Who are you to argue with God?
Hey, listen though. I do want you guys to interrupt me. I want this to be a conversation. I really, really do. I'm just saying, don't mind me and my scriptures today.
All right, I'm not going to bother you about your scrippies
Yeah,
because I
thank
love
you.
scrippies. Usually I tell you when you've done enough, but today I'll let you do all you want. Let's go.
And I haven't brought one like that for a while.
That's true. It's time.
But you watch. I'm going to switch it around to be real practical. So I was sitting down having my Bible reading the other day with my matcha. It's my favorite. Crackers and cheese, Bible and matcha. That's how it goes for me. It's like that they're a twin.
So it's Gouda.
No, I don't have the crackers and cheese. I'm like, how cheese goes with crackers?
Oh.
My Bible goes with my matcha drink. I can't do the two without each other. Somehow.
Okay, but I was at your house the other day and you had crackers and Gouda cheese, so that's
Oh,
why.
yeah, but that was separate. That
Okay.
wasn't even with my Bible. But anyway, as you can see, look at this word, potty with arrows, potty with arrows, potty with arrows.
my goodness.
All
she
through my Bible, I
marked
have
up
potty
her
with arrows,
Bible.
potty with arrows.
Okay, show that to the camera.
Yeah.
She marked up her Bible for you
Potty
guys
with
listening.
arrows, man, it's all through
For
my Bible.
potty listeners, you are written into Serene's Bible.
Anyway,
That's
so
commitment.
I'm putting my Bible down now because I actually wrote it on my teleprompter to be serious. Okay, so I was reading, I think it was here in Proverbs chapter 8. Does not wisdom call? This is verse 1. Does not wisdom call? Does not understanding? Boy, it must have been King James. Sorry, Pearl. Does not. My dad.
No, that
prays
would be
in the
doth not.
Or doth not.
Okay.
Yeah, but do you in English say oh yes you do. Okay. It's dad, because he prays in the King James, he always be like, let not
Yeah.
this, let not this happen.
Keep
like,
going, girl.
let not Sally from church keep having her
Hey,
cold.
if you want a very powerful
Oh, okay.
podcast, I would stick to the
Okay,
topic.
does not understanding raise her voice? And I was immediately captivated. That's the word. I was immediately captivated about wisdom having a voice. And I was like, this is going to be really good. Verse 2, at the crossroads, she takes her stand. Verse 3, besides the gates, at the entrance of the portals, she takes her stand. And it got me thinking. That that wisdom, it's likened unto a woman, has a crossroad. It has a gate. There's a portal. There's an entrance there. And she's oftentimes standing at other entrances too. When you're at a crossroads, she's standing there and she has something to say.
Sounds like she has a voice.
She has a voice. And she is often standing there at the crossroads of our health journey. See, I'm going to make it practical. I'm already bringing it in. She'll be there, and we have to listen. We have to quiet the noise of our hangry, quiet the noise of oftentimes our donut addictions or other addictions. Sometimes it's not always about diet health. Quiet the noise of the cravings and listen. Does wisdom have something to say here? Because she's there at the crossroads, at the portals, at the entrances to the roads that lead to health or to the roads that lead to death. And I know that sounds strong, roads to lead to death, but I'm going there today. And you'll hear as I go on. Verse 5, O simple ones, learn prudence. Fools, learn sense. Verse 6, hear, for I will speak noble things, and from my lips will come what is right. So if we're about to choose foolishness, wisdom has something for us at that point, at that crossroads. It has something for us to hear, and it has something for us to learn. And wisdom will tell us the right way. And wisdom, what I want to say, wisdom, people think, oh, that person's not wise or, whatever. But wisdom doesn't call to just a few. Wisdom calls to everybody. Wisdom is not a respecter of person. She calls to everybody. It's just whether we will listen. But her voice will always be faithfully there. And that's what I want to get across today too. Verse 7, and this is wisdom talking still. For my mouth will utter truth. Verse 10 and 11, take my instruction instead of silver and my knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you may desire cannot compare with her. Like no donut, no fried chicken wing, no Coke, no desire. And let's get out of the practical now of diet. No getting it back at somebody, who's irked you, not getting back at them with bitter, biting words. No path taken at the crossroads to let your tongue loose for destruction will be as wonderful as wisdom. Oftentimes we're like, I just have a desire to chop that person's head off with my words. Or that desire for, I'm just going to drive through Dunkin' Donuts. No desire of foolishness, no desire is going to be as fulfilling as wisdom herself. No fling through the gate of selfishness and ignoring wisdom's call will feel as good as time spent in wisdom. Wisdom brings true pleasure. And I want to skip ahead. This is the same chapter 8 to verse 30 and 31, talking about how wisdom dwelt with God as he created the earth. And it talks about as he shaped the mountains, as he established the heavens, as he drew a circle on the face of the deep, establishing the fountains of the deep. When he assigned the sea its limits, it says, I, wisdom, was beside him like a master workman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always and rejoicing in the inhabited world. And you see, what I got from that is wisdom is a rejoicer. Wisdom is a jolly character. It's true joy. True bliss is the very nature of wisdom. And verse 31 continues, it says, wisdom delighting in the children of men. And I thought to myself, wisdom wants to delight in us. We just have to let it. We just have to listen and go with wisdom's happy flow. Because many people think wisdom is a stodgy character. Some old spinster lady in a library, with her hair smacked tight, slicked in the tight bun and all done with rigid pins all the way back, so not one loose little bit of freedom can be in her life. And she's got the spectacles down her nose, and all she wants to say is, no, fool. Everything you ever want in life, no, you fool, you want to choose the wrong thing. People think that that's wisdom, but actually it's the wrong depiction of wisdom, because wisdom in the Bible is depicted as something that is a blessing, that carries delight to it. And it says the person who knows wisdom more than anybody, because he created wisdom, says that he delighted in wisdom, and she was there delighting in him, and they had this delight relationship going on. And then I loved how it went back to the bottom of that section, says, and it delights in the children of men. And I'm like, wow, I love that. So wisdom doesn't want to suck the light out of us, but to the contrary, verse 32 goes on to say, blessed is the one who listens to me. And I'm going to open it up here soon, guys. Verse 34, because these scriptures are going fast.
No, they're good, so
Okay.
good. I'm sitting at your feet.
Who
slurping
watches
it.
daily at my gates,
You say slurping?
Yeah, I'm slurping.
who waits beside my doors. And there it is again, like how we started, this whole depiction of wisdom having gates and doors and being around the gates and the doors and the portals. And it makes me think of that verse. There is a way that leads to life. I think it's Matthew 7, chapter 7, verse 13 and 14. And it says, there's a way that leads to life. It's a narrow gate, one that not one that everyone follows. You know that
Yeah, I
whole
know
thing?
that one.
It makes
Dan,
me think
remember
of that.
your days learning?
Yeah.
Enter the narrow gate, for wide is the way, and
Wide is the way to destruction.
yes,
Narrow is the something, and those blessed are those who find it. Hey,
Yes.
Dan, come on.
We're not pastors.
no, but it reminds me of that, right? Because there is this opening
Yeah.
up to wisdom, and it's there at that crossroads. But it's not the one that everybody chooses. So if it's the one that everybody's going through, the one, most people in the world, they go through the. There's a lot of cars in the line of a drive-through.
Serene, am I allowed to interrupt yet? Because I want to bring something out that you said that's already blessed my freaking socks off.
Yeah.
And that's what that picture of wisdom, we think wisdom is the voice with the pin back hair and
Yeah.
the no fool. But wisdom is the joyful voice. And now, a couple of parties ago, I even talked about sometimes I drive past Dunkin' Donuts and it just calls to me, and I was just talking about that a couple of times a year. I'll do it just for vitamin pleasure. But now I have this picture that I won't get out of my head, because wisdom is a delightful, rejoiceful voice, and I'm going to listen to wisdom and see what she says. See
Yes.
what her good, happy, joyful words say to me.
I also kind of want to imagine her like with her hair all flying. Maybe it's slightly red and wild, and it's like she's kind of like flinging her arms out with butterflies all around her, and she's twirling around. This is in my head all of a sudden in this field, and she's like whispering, come where it's fun, and let's go and like have an adventure. Like, come away from Dunkin' Donuts.
And poor Duncan. Why are we picking on Duncan? But
No, like she's not the.
They have good coffee.
She's not the one with the big old nulled pointy finger.
Yeah.
Like, don't go to Dunkin' Donuts.
But just the fact that she's there and hanging around at crossroad. The Bible says she's hanging around at the crossroads when we make those choices is huge
Yeah,
to be listened to. I had to say it. I had to butt in.
I love it.
Do you think wisdom is easy to find?
But she's there.
I think she is. And we'll talk a little bit about it later, but I think what we have to do is just quiet ourselves, quiet the hangry. Sometimes we've gotten really good at just like putting our fingers in our ears and ignoring her.
You said wisdom's. You used to think she's like this.
He's rubbing his thigh. He means he's going to
I'm about to.
do something poignant.
You're going to bring poignancy when the thigh gets rubbed.
It's like he's warming it up.
Is that my move?
He's rubbing
Have I not known
the
this?
genie to try and bring out the.
Get ready, ladies. About to. I lost what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, listen. You said you thought you used to believe wisdom was like a stinky librarian, right?
She smells of Bengay,
But
like
you know what?
like that arthritis rub.
We actually had the most awesome librarian who's such a great trim healthy mama, and she's a librarian. It's rare to have
I
a
love
librarian.
books, and I love libraries, except they hate me because I never bring their
And
books
our
back.
librarian that is a listener to this party is actually, she's hot. I've seen
There
pictures
should
of
be
her.
a a shirt to that. Like librarians are hot. I believe it. It's just that this.
In the stereotypical sense.
exactly.
Okay, but what were you going
That
to say,
would be
Dan?
a cool shirt, hot librarian. Well, wisdom for me in my life has been a chubby, bald Asian man who plays hide and seek for me.
Why is he bald,
It's the
Asian,
yin
and
and
chubby?
the yang. He's seeing he's seeing like the wisdom, like of like some Chinese saying proverb that's going to come
okay.
to him or something. Maybe
You got it? I mean, nailed it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I have not found wisdom to come easy.
Well. We're gonna carry
It's been
on
a long,
and then.
hard road.
But I wonder though. I've recently come to this new little habit, and I'll get like irked in my spirit, and I'll be at a crossroads, and I'll be like have this strong compulsion or strong fear or strong something, and I feel I've got recently done this thing where I'll take a deep breath, and I'm like, I actually didn't call it wisdom until I've started reading this. I might start changing it, but because God is a spirit of wisdom. But I'm just like, Father, I know you're here. what do you want me to do about that? I'm just going to slow down. I'm just going to take a deep breath. Talk to me. Like, talk to me now. I'm at the crossroads. Like, talk to me about what do you want me to think about this situation? And I think it's a slowdown where we can hear it. She's always there talking.
That's actually a good point, because I am always going 1,000 miles an hour and finding that I'm blowing it along the way. And when I do stop and just like sit for a second and try to think and pray or meditate, I do hear wisdom.
Yeah.
But it's so against my personality.
And it's a still small voice.
Yes, it
right?
is.
I mean, the scriptures say that. It wasn't, what was the story in the Bible? And, you know, and the prophet
Elijah
was looking for the big voice from God, and it wasn't in the wind, and it wasn't in the lightning, and it was in the still small voice, which when translated means that the gentle breeze, the quiet.
I think people that run hot have to hit the brick wall sometimes.
Right. Verse 35 of chapter 8, for whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. Verse 36, but he who fails to find me injures himself. And this is where the strong part's coming in, and I'm going to go strong. All who hate me love death. Now, they may not realize it, but that's true. And I didn't write that, okay? It's divinely inspired scripture, so let's just take it up with God and, ask him about it. But he wrote that. All who fail to find me injure themselves, and all who hate me love death. When we don't look and slow down and listen for wisdom, when we don't quiet our heart, when we don't quiet our hangry, when we don't quiet our own determination and shut it all up to make room for wisdom, when we don't look for her, we do love death. And I want to go back a few verses because we skipped ahead. And it's verse 14. I have counsel, wisdom says. I have insight. I have strength. Verse 17. I love those who love me.
So good. I'm just so blown away right now.
Passionate voice talking. This is a voice full of gentle love. I love you. Like, I love those who love me. Those who seek me diligently find me. So you can find wisdom. There's no one who is handicapped and can't find wisdom. This is the ticket here that you were asking about, Dan. Those who seek me find me. We just have to seek. And the first part of seeking, I think, is just slowing down and listening. Verse 19, my fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield more than choice silver. Verse 21, for I have an inheritance for those who love me. Now into chapter 9, verse 11, and this is still wisdom talking, and it's describing this inheritance. For by me your days will be multiplied. And I'm going to go into this health journey in the practical pearl. By me your days will be multiplied, and your years will be added to your life.
Can we put this in our Trim Healthy Wisdom book?
I've got a scripture for the Trim Healthy Wisdom book. Years added to your life. And this is true. Pearl, you a couple of potties ago mentioned about our granddad. Was it here you mentioned about our granddad Bowen? The oldest of all 9 boys. And all of his younger brothers died before him because he was the only one who had a wife who fed him wisely. Mm-hmm. People are literally destroying themselves through ignoring the voice of wisdom in many areas of their life, many areas. But because this is a health podcast where we often focus on the practicality of diet, we're going to talk about when it comes to diet here and lifestyle right now. Heart disease, number one killer the number one cause of death for both men and women in the United States. High blood sugar is a major contributor to heart disease, right? It damages the blood vessels and the nerves that control the heart. But it also narrows and hardens the arteries, the blood vessels, which is arteriosclerosis. I've never been able to pronounce that word.
I don't know how
Arteriosclerosis?
Yes.
Great.
Who has been able to pronounce that?
And diabetics, and this comes from, arteriosclerosis is from high blood sugar. And this is a heart condition. Diabetics also have other issues related to that disease that risk heart disease, like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and obesity. That all runs amok with strokes and heart disease. But it's a problem because of diabetes too. Diabetes itself can kill. It's actually the 7th biggest killer in all of the United States. It's the 7th, however.
And that if it's listed just by itself,
right. But it causes heart disease, and heart disease is number one. So it really, exactly. If the heart disease doesn't get you first, and then it's diabetes, right? Exactly. Now, more than 37 million U.S. adults have diabetes. 1 in 5 don't even know they have it, so they're not part of that number. But the most common cause of death in diabetics is heart disease, which of course is number one killer. So high blood sugar and diabetes. And the reason why I'm harping about diabetes is because it's like we can definitely link that to definitely to our diet and lifestyle. And I'm talking type 2. Type 1 is a different. But guess what? According to the numbers from the Centers of Disease Control, of the 30 million Americans that are diagnosed with diabetes, this is different numbers here, but different studies, 90 to 95% are the type 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is calling in the gates of the grocery aisle, the gates of your home, the gates and the mouths of your children as well. Those are gates. Because children now, it used to be adult onset diabetes. That's what they used to call it because it was just a disease of adulthood. But now, and I wrote down some of the numbers. I don't know why I can't see it. But now children as young as 10 are being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Now, this is sad. This is absolutely sad. And I think of that scripture in Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 19. You can choose life or death. You can choose. The first choice will bring a blessing. The other choice will bring a curse. So choose life so that you and your children will live. Wisdom is crying out. And that's what I want to say here today. Wisdom is crying out. It is not just not calling out to some. It's calling out to all of us. Will we listen? Or will we go the way of fools? And I know that sounds so harsh, right? You love death and, are you going to go the way of be a fool? But I actually want to bring it today.
I want to receive it.
I want to bring it. This is a strong word, but so are death statistics.
Mm.
So is the life of disease. It's strong, it's fierce, it ravishes. Wisdom's voice is the one that wants to lighten the load. It's that lady with the butterflies all around her skipping the field saying, come to the way of life. Come over to the green pasture. Get out of that graveyard over there. That's your future. And now for you, Pearl, you said I want to think about this whole wisdom idea for the Trim Healthy Wisdom book. I have a verse for you.
Correlation, it's coming out next year, and we called it Trim Healthy Wisdom, but I never thought of all these things relating to it. We were just bringing the wisdom we've learned.
Right. Now for those of us in our mature years, as women, maybe we're peri or postmenopausal, these are our mature years. Job 12:12. Wisdom belongs to the aged. It belongs to us. And understanding belongs to the old. In our mature years, we are meant to be tied at the hip to wisdom. Us and wisdom should go together like crackers and cheese. We can't afford to live mature years in folly, so we have to up our game. We have to listen, we have to slow down, we have to seek and walk in wisdom as a full-time job. Because we might even have to get nerdy, geektified about protein.
Just might.
We just might have to.
We just might have to do some resistance training.
Right. We've got to get some wisdom under our belts and learn maybe the special attention tips and tricks that our bodies need in our mature years to thrive. We've got to strengthen ourselves because we are the pillars, right? We've got to be able to stand tall, walk tall, I'm not talking height. I'm talking strong. Not that weak and wizened old posture of somebody who's just let their mature years I felt drag them down. I'm just going to go the way of the decay. No, we got to get geektified because guess what? I love it. What says that wisdom belongs to the mature. It belongs to us. We got to go out and get us some wisdom.
I'm just so excited about coming out with this book now because it feels like, I don't know, we didn't put scriptures to it. But now it feels like this is the time.
Because you wrote that. You were the one that came up with the title, Trim Healthy Wisdom, talking about, okay, these are our perimenopausal years, our postmenopausal years,
get
all
wise.
of our years. Yes, we've got to get wise.
But now it's what we claim.
It's our inheritance.
Yes.
Is this a cookbook?
No.
No, it's just really, it's this book Serena and I've been working on for close to 3 years now. Everything we've learned as we've walked into these hormonal years where the hormones decline, where things happen to us women that are challenging, to say the least.
Yeah.
And it's all what we thought was our wisdom, to do it strong, to do it well. But now I'm thinking, as she's bringing this, I feel so much more of a charge that this timing is right.
Here's another one, Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense.
Yes, it is.
But the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to those who have it. And I love the beginning of that. For wisdom is a defense. Our children need defending. and that's why I'm like, freak out. Like there is a gate there to our home. What are we bringing past? And then what are we letting through the gates of our children's mouths too? So that's that part of the generation. But now, in our mature years, we need defending too.
Yeah, we do.
It's a state that a lot of people call a weakened state. It's like the people think the elderly, the weak, right? But wisdom is our defense in that time. And we need defending. We also need contending. I love it. They're two rhyming words that go together. If we're going to be full of wisdom, we're going to start contending. We're not just going to let things happen to us as we age. We're going to contend for help. We're going to contend for strength.
May I butt in? And I was thinking about, some of us, and maybe some listeners right now might be thinking, but I'm just tired of having to think about it all so much. Why must we think about diet or movement? It's almost an extreme. We shouldn't have to think about all that. But we've only got two choices. You start thinking about it and you start acquiring wisdom, or you go down that road that is leading to decay. I mean, there's only two choices. And I think looking at it as delight rather than, man, I have to think about it, is the big game changer.
Yes. It's not like, I have to go be friends with that old librarian with her pulled back hair, and I have to like start to do rules in my life, like get to bed early and
No, man, I could dance with the woman in the field.
You have to think about parenting.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to give it thought.
Yeah.
Anything worth anything in this world. It's almost like we spend our whole life rebelling against the reality of physics that you got to work to keep muscle, and you have to study to be a good parent.
And you have to like trim your own selfishness off when you're married.
Yeah. I always thought that
you have to think about it. What you're going to say to your spouse.
Yeah, how should I word that so I don't offend?
Yeah.
Well, I had this convenient view of God that like anything that happened, like I was just this like puppet. You know what I mean? And like anything that ever happened in my life, good or bad, God allowed or God did not allow, it was just bad thinking.
No, according to just the scripture, she said, wisdom shapes our life.
Yeah.
And wisdom's there at the gate, ready for us to take.
I've got a few more scriptures and I'm done, and then you guys can just look at that, 29 minutes in. I thought this was going to be like a heavy, long thing, but it's
not heavy. It's so good. And yeah.
Proverbs 4:6-7. Do not forsake wisdom, because she will protect you. I love it, because we're seeing her in a whole different light now,
it's
right?
Very matriarchal religion.
Well, it's a spirit of the Lord, but that's what I love about the Bible, is it's so poetic and it's so descriptive, and I love the way it uses
I love that the wisdom is a feminine figure. I'm not trying to be like hating men, because I love men.
Well, that's
but I love that wisdom is this part of this female nature.
Yeah, I've just heard so much lately about the old book being this patriarchal thing, and I mean, you're going for 30 minutes now on this very feminine.
Well, and that's what I love about God, because He loves balance, because He's using this feminine allegory, but it's coming from the mouth of the most incredible, Father. Yeah. And so it's a balance. It's such a beautiful balance. It comes from the heart of the Father. Wisdom does.
Is
so
that
it's birthed
Proverbs?
from Him. It's birthed from Him. Yes. Proverbs 4:6-7. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. Wisdom is supreme.
Love her.
Therefore, get wisdom supreme. Like, I'm not talking of this little podcast about, this is like maybe something you should start thinking about. It might help a little bit. No, wisdom is supreme. Proverbs 1-7. But fools despise wisdom and discipline. So really, I'm going heavy now. If you don't want to disregard,
the librarian saying no fool coming back, there's a little bit here.
I'm just saying, if you want to just disregard it and say, no, I want to just have my Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm not going to take all the crap out of my house. And I'm going to, when I want to eat the full bag of chips, I'm going to eat the full bags of chips. And when I go watch the movie, I'm having the big 36-ounce fountain drink. Thank you very much. Full.
She said it.
I'm just saying it. I'm just because I care.
I love what you're bringing lately. Lately, you're very unafraid. And we live in such a world where you're not allowed to trigger, and Serene's just unafraid to do it.
Trigger me Elmo over here.
Yeah, trigger me. But who's doing this?
Proverbs 15:24, the path of life leads upwards for the wise to keep him from going down to the grave. Proverbs 17:24, a discerning man keeps wisdom in view. And I love that, keeps it in view. So every time I'm at a crossroads, I'm looking for the view of wisdom. I'm like, where's wisdom? Where's wisdom? Where's the horizon that wisdom's at? Because that's the road. That's the path I'm taking. I've got one more. Proverbs 24:14. Know also that wisdom is sweet to your soul. You like sweet, guys? You got a sugar addiction? You got some craving for some sweet? The sweetest thing is wisdom. Know that wisdom is sweet. Sweet to your soul if you find it. There is a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. This was not a heavy to bring like discipline in your life just because I wanted to bring that, or why is it written in the Bible just because, he wanted to have rules. No, because he wants a hope for your life. He doesn't want it to be cut off. And I'm bringing it here today because I don't want your hope to be cut off. And you guys can rant, but that's my teleprompter stuff.
I don't really have anything more to say, Serene. The words were so profound. I don't know, as a pastor's kid, I was raised in Proverbs, but why have I never seen those scriptures in that light and applied them to my life? Like, my spirit right now is just sucking that in. And I just want to come up to your altar call and say, I want to hear wisdom's voice for my life. And like bring it, wisdom.
We can sit in silence for 15 minutes if you want.
Bow your head
Just
and raise your hand.
Don't
look. Don't look.
No one, every head
and
bowed.
And as the pastor's kids, we were always the ones looking.
Oh, you bet I looked.
And memorizing the names of the ones that didn't lift their hand up.
Did you? Did you now?
Yeah.
I've sat through those church services.
Do you want to hear some really great pastor's kids story in closing? Because we're only 33 minutes. We'll have one nice little story to leave you with.
Yeah, hit us with it.
As pastor's kids, our brother Rockland used to get really a good amount of protectiveness over his father in the church. So he would open his eyes when they should be bowed, when the offering plate would be passed around.
Yeah.
The offering, the church, the tithe.
He'd watch.
He would watch who didn't tithe. He would stand with his friends across the threshold.
Okay, he
You
did.
say the story.
Oh, he was about 7.
Yeah.
And he decided one day that certain people didn't put the tithes into the
He was
the
like
little
Santa
thing.
Claus. He was making a list.
He stood at the door with his arms on either side and wouldn't
You'd have to know him today. Dan knows him, but you listening, you'd have to know him. He
wouldn't let people pass.
He'd call them out publicly.
No, he just didn't let them pass through the door.
Like he would know it was you, and he would just say,
"You didn't put something in the offering."
Would he come up and whisper
He got
to
in
him?
so much trouble by Dad.
Oh yeah.
No, he was standing with his hands on either side of the doorway and not letting people out of the church.
Just so you know, I know there's a lot of
great.
gentle parents out there that don't believe in discipline, but Sunday was our day of discipline.
Serene, this is the new Serene.
As child,
This is
no,
the-
I believe in discipline, but as children, Sunday was the day we knew we were getting our spanks. Because we'd always do something
We
like
were
that
naughty.
at church,
Oh, you
okay,
like to
so
cut up at
you
church.
had a lot of people at your altar call.
Yeah.
Then you went and destroyed it by you gentle parents that don't believe in discipline. They believe, okay.
No,
they have their own-
did I word it nice?
You,
I
no,
didn't
you worded
stop
it terribly.
and slow down and listen
You
for
didn't.
wisdom's voice to rearrange my sentence. Okay, let me slow down and take a breath.
Word it differently, wisdom.
Okay, so I feel like now I have wisdom in view. I'm going to say there are many parents who choose to gentle parent that may be offended at the fact that I talk about the fact that, we had to get spanked by our father every Sunday afternoon. I want you to still respect my father, you beautiful, gentle parents, with your wonderful hearts towards your children. I don't want to offend you with that story, but I do want you to know that our father was upset. It wasn't him that was forcing the
But
the
our
tithing.
spanks were not bad.
Did wisdom rephrase that so much better?
You did so much better. I don't know how the gentle parenting folk are feeling about you right now.
The worst form
I'm a
of
half and half anyway.
punishment today is to take a child's
Hey Ben, we're
phone.
on the potty.
Go ahead.
This is good old Ben. You know Ben Johansson?
Yeah, he works for us. Why did you have to pick
But
up?
Ben, what do you have to say to the peeps on the potty? The phone is to the mic.
Oh, and
I'm embarrassed that I called you in the middle of the potty.
he's embarrassed.
No, what do you have to say of wisdom? Today's
We
potty
have-
was about wisdom.
We
Do
have
you-
listeners
do you
listening
have-
to a real podcast.
Shut up, Dan.
She just allowed wisdom. Did wisdom allow you to say
Ben's talking,
shut up?
bro. Shh.
I'll let it go. You guys are in a flow.
No, we're not in a flow.
We're in a flow, Ben.
We're right out of a flow. We want
now
you
we're
to
not.
save it. We want you to save it, Ben. Give us one wisdom saying before, like something of wisdom as we go.
At least hold the mic to the mic.
If I was to give one nugget, and it's kind of my life's mantra, MO, is hearing and doing. So I do nothing unless I see it being formed in front of me. I press no door down, push no door down. I wait to see what's being presented, and I put my hand to that with all my strength and wait for the next thing to be presented to me.
I love that. And
Wait.
today, many things were presented to you, wonderful listeners. and Ben, it's just like, it's confirmation.
That's our cousin
to
Ben, by
hear
the way.
and do. Yeah.
See you, Ben.
See you, Ben. Bye.
Don't you fall asleep on our cousin Ben.
Oh, sorry.
Where were we? Back. We have the gentle parenting's back.
Oh, I was a gentle parent.
Oh, Leslie says we have to.
Do
Les.
Yeah, Serene's the most gentle
I
parent.
was
of them
a gentle
all.
parent.
What do you mean was?
Oh, I still am.
Les is done.
Hey, Arden, you're my son. Come and talk.
Done.
Oh, let's not.
Oh,
Yes.
let's belabor
Okay,
this
come
as
here.
much as we
Come
can.
here. Was I rough and mean
Bye,
as a
everybody.
mother? Come sit down in the
Bye,
middle
everybody.
between your
Skip.
auntie and your
Skip
mother.
video.
Between
Swipe.
two matriarchs who could still
Swipe.
spank your bum if we so choose.
Watch out, because she might not be so gentle.
Cue up the next
depending-
video.
Depending upon what you say. Talk about how she wasn't gentle with you and she's gentle on her new ones.
I was gentle with him.
I do joke around with Mom that
Yeah.
she grandparents her youngest kids now.
Yeah,
She's grandma mode.
I wouldn't say she was very, very strict. She was, but you weren't I was more Dad was the disciplinarian, and you were firm, but you weren't I wouldn't.
You had me wrapped around your little finger.
I did. I knew how to handle Mom.
Ah, nice. Hey, I think some parents need to, for me, I had to feel handled by my kids so that I could grow as a parent. I was Mr. Staunch disciplinarian.
But I would not say that she was at all she was not into gentle parenting. She is now.
She is now.
She definitely.
No, actually, my spirit was not into gentle parent. I've always believed in a good spank, but I didn't know how to bring that to pass. In fact, the reason why
This is getting worse.
no, but listen,
It was
when
so good.
I used to be a gentle parent, not even out of
What do you
wanting
mean by
to be.
gentle parent? Why
I
wouldn't you be a
didn't know
gentle
how
parent?
to firm it up,
Mom, that's what gentle parenting is. They know that their kid needs to be disciplined, but they can't actually.
No, you're as bad as your mom. Gentle parenting is an approach. It's
Yeah, what is this?
different. It's where you don't need to do anything physical, but you learn to understand your child and reason with them and talk through
I think
it.
this podcast.
That sounds
definitely took
positive.
another-
I used to reason and talk with Arden, and then my grandfather came over from New Zealand. His name was Granddad Bowen, Ivan Bowen, and he basically thought that Arden was like a little demon from hell, and told me
Spank
that
the child.
whatever your modern world trying to do, it's not working, and you got to follow the good old age and wisdom of giving them a good spank.
This podcast has definitely taken another
I mean,
topic in another
it's
life.
Annihilated.
But
bad.
I will say
Annihilated.
I'm very thankful for all the spanks I have gotten, and I wish I had more.
Do you?
I'd be a much better person if I had more spanks when I was younger.
It's not too late.
Yeah.
Hey, look at him. He got better.
Yeah, I'm going to HR right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm his boss. I just spanked my employee.
I hope they faded. Did they fade already?
I don't know, but this is no redeeming.
Right after she talked to Ben.
Yeah.
No, right before.
Yeah.
Sayonara.
Choo choo